My girlfriend said. "When never kissed with tongue." I replied. I already saw the photos. Then I packed her bags, changed the locks, and forwarded every screenshot to her parents. And I just smiled, because the ex thinks she won. But she has no idea I also sent the messages to her other 2 girlfriends, who were very interested to see how she spends her work trips. Original post: my name is Maya and I'm 28. For the last 2 years, I've been in a relationship with a woman named Qley. She is 27. When we met, she was just getting out of a 9-year relationship with her ex-partner, a woman named Alex. Qley told me the breakup was because Alex is polyamorous, and Qley is not. She was completely heartbroken, and I did my best to help her heal. Hey viewers, we are aiming for 1,000 subscribers. Your support brings us closer. Subscribe and be part of the journey. From the beginning, Alex was a constant presence in her life. They own a small design business, so they had to remain in contact. But their connection went beyond business. Qley always referred to Alex as her best friend. They took frequent work trips together and met up for coffee several times a week. At first, I tried to be understanding. I knew a 9-year relationship left deep roots. About a year ago, I found out that Qley and Alex had shared a bed on one of their work trips. It felt like a line had been crossed, and I told her so. She apologized profusely. She swore that nothing sexual had happened, that the hotel had messed up their booking, and they only had one bed. She said Alex was just her best friend, nothing more. A few days later, I even had a conversation with Alex about it. She was incredibly reassuring. She told me there was nothing romantic between them anymore. Just a very strong, platonic bond. She described it as being almost like a mother-daughter relationship, which was strange, but I accepted it. I chose to trust them both. My relationship with Qley was sweet and loving. Her family and friends were wonderful to me. I had no reason to believe I was being lied to. I knew Alex had other partners. She even got pregnant by a man she was seeing casually and had a child. All of this reinforced my belief that her romantic life was completely separate from her friendship with Qley. I felt secure. The foundation of our relationship, I thought, was solid. I was wrong. The foundation was a lie, and the ground was about to give way beneath me. Update 1. Last Thursday, Qley had a bad bike accident. She broke her arm and lost a couple of her front teeth. It was terrifying. I got the call in the middle of the night and rushed to the emergency room. I spent the next few days by her side, taking care of her, helping her eat, making sure she was comfortable. She was in a lot of pain, and my only focus was her well-being. Today, while Qley was resting, Alex came over to the apartment. She had brought Qley a new iPhone, since hers had been shattered in the accident. Alex, knowing I'm better with tech, asked me if I could help set it up and transfer everything from the cloud. At the same time, Qley, from the bedroom, asked me to double-check if all her photos and messages had synced properly, as she was worried about losing them. It was the perfect, innocent storm of requests. It gave me complete, unfettered access to everything. As I was going through the sync settings, I saw the photo library. And that's when my world stopped. There were recent photos of Qley and Alex. Photos from their work trips. Photos of them in bed together. Photos of them kissing in front of a mirror at their office. My heart was hammering in my chest. I felt like I couldn't breathe. I opened their WhatsApp conversation. It was a novel of their love affair. They said, "I love you," and "my love" to each other every single morning. Alex had sent Qley a photo from 7 years ago with the caption, "Here's the picture from when I proposed to you." There were messages planning when they would be able to sleep together. One message from Alex was particularly chilling. "I'm glad you have 2 girlfriends who love you." Then I found the message that broke me completely. It was from Qley to Alex, sent last Thursday night, while I was sitting right next to her in the ER, holding her hand. It said, "I want to share my life with you." I don't remember walking into the bedroom. I just remember standing over her, my entire body shaking with a rage and pain so profound it was a physical force. I woke her up. I was screaming. I was holding the phone in her face, showing her the pictures, the messages. She was groggy from the pain medication. She barely opened her eyes. Her first words were not an apology. They were an excuse. "I'm sorry. she mumbled. "She's my best friend." Then she added the line that I will never forget as long as I live. "We never kissed with tongue." I almost fainted. The absurdity, the pathetic, childish nature of that defense in the face of such a monumental betrayal was too much to bear. I didn't say another word. I just turned, walked out of the bedroom, grabbed my keys, and left. I walked out of the apartment, out of her life, and into the wreckage of my own. Update 2. I drove to my sister's house in a complete daze. The next morning, the shock had subsided, replaced by a cold, hard clarity. This wasn't just a simple affair. This was a 2-year-long manipulation, a carefully constructed lie that everyone had been a part of. The mother-daughter relationship, the platonic friendship, it was all a script they had written to keep me compliant. My first call was to a locksmith. I still had a key to the apartment we shared, which was in my name. I had him meet me there. Qley was at a follow-up doctor's appointment with her mother. The apartment was empty. The locks were changed in under an hour. My next step was to methodically pack every single thing that belonged to Qley. I was an automaton moving from room to room, devoid of emotion. Her clothes, her books, her art supplies, I packed them all into boxes. I was erasing her from my home, from my life. While I was packing, I did some research. I went through their messages again, looking for details. I found the names of Alex's other 2 girlfriends. The ones she was with in her polyamorous relationship. It wasn't hard to find them on social media. I created a new, anonymous email account. I composed 3 separate, identical emails, one for each of Alex's partners. The subject line was, "Your partner, Alex." The email was simple and factual. "I believe you are in a relationship with Alex. I thought you should know that for the past 2 years, she has been having an affair with her ex-partner Qley, who was my girlfriend. They co-own a business, and it seems their relationship is not as platonic as they have led people to believe. I have attached some evidence for your consideration. I am sorry to be the one to tell you this." I attached the 5 most damning screenshots, the photo of them kissing, the picture of them in bed, the 2 girlfriends message, the ER text, and the message from Alex reminiscing about their engagement. I sent the emails. My final act was to inform the families. Qley's parents had always been so kind to me. I sent them a group text. "I am so sorry to have to tell you this, but Qley and I are no longer together. I have discovered that she has been in a relationship with Alex for the entire duration of our own. All of her belongings are packed at my apartment. Please let me know when you would like to pick them up." I attached one single, non-explicit photo, the one of them kissing in the mirror at their office. The proof was undeniable. Then I blocked all of them. My part was done. I had set the truth loose. Now all I had to do was wait for it to do its work. Update 3. The fallout was swift and spectacular. Qley's mother called me from her husband's phone, sobbing. She was horrified, apologetic, and ashamed. She said they would be over the next day to collect Qley's things. When they arrived, her father, a quiet, stoic man, just shook my head and said, "I am so sorry, Maya. We had no idea." The real chaos, however, was happening in Alex's life. One of her other girlfriends, a woman named Sarah, emailed me back from my anonymous account. She was furious. She said Alex had been lying to all of them, telling each of them a different story. She thanked me for the information and said she was forwarding it to the third partner. I heard through a mutual acquaintance what happened next. Alex's carefully balanced polyamorous world imploded. All 3 of her partners, including Qley, confronted her. The trust was shattered. The other 2 girlfriends left her immediately. She and Qley had a massive, explosive fight. The business they co-owned is apparently in jeopardy, as they can no longer stand to be in the same room together. A week later, I received an email from Qley. It was a long, rambling mess of excuses and blame. She blamed Alex's manipulation. She blamed her own confusion after the breakup. She said the feelings of love for Alex had come back after Alex's health scare, as if it were a common cold she had caught. She said I had been the perfect girlfriend, and that she had made a terrible mistake. She begged me to meet her, to let her explain. I knew I had to see her one last time, to put a final, definitive end to it. I agreed to meet her at a public park. She showed up with her arm in a sling, her new teeth still temporary. She looked broken. She cried and apologized. She repeated her story, how she loved me but also had this intense, undeniable love for Alex. She listed what she loved about me, my stability, my kindness. Then she listed what she loved about Alex: food, traveling, wine. It was so superficial, so utterly selfish, it was breathtaking. When she was done, I just looked at her. The pain was still there, but the love was gone, replaced by a cold, hard pity. The problem, Qley, I said, my voice quiet, is that you want everything. You want the stability of a monogamous relationship with me, and you want the thrill of a forbidden romance with Alex. You want 2 girlfriends. But you don't get to have it all, you have to choose. Tears streamed down her face. I choose you, she whispered. I shook my head slowly. No. You don't. You made your choice a long time ago. You just didn't have the courage to tell me. You chose her when you shared a bed with her a year ago. You chose her every time you went on a work trip. And you chose her when you texted her from the emergency room. While I was sitting next to you, terrified I was going to lose you, I stood up. I hope you and Alex are very happy together. But my part in your story is over. I walked away, leaving her on the park bench, finally forced to live with just one of her choices. Final update: it has been 6 months since I walked away from Qley in that park. I have moved to a new apartment, in a new neighborhood. I needed a space that held no memories of her. The healing has been a slow and painful process. I am in therapy, working through the profound sense of betrayal and the violation of trust. Some days are better than others. I heard through the grapevine that Qley and Alex did not, in fact, live happily ever after. Their relationship, built on a foundation of lies and deceit, crumbled under the weight of the fallout. Alex, having lost her other partners, became possessive and controlling. Qley, having lost her perfect, stable girlfriend, realized that a relationship built on food, traveling, and wine was not enough to sustain a life. They broke up a few months ago. Their business has been dissolved. They are both alone. My revenge was quiet. It was the simple act of telling the truth to the people who deserved to hear it. I didn't yell or scream. After that initial confrontation, I just exposed their secret world to the light. They didn't just betray me, they betrayed everyone in their lives. I just made sure all the receipts were delivered to the correct parties. I don't know if I will ever be able to trust someone so completely again. The scar is deep. But I am learning to trust myself. I survived the unthinkable. I stood up for myself. I chose my own dignity over a comfortable lie. The other day, I was setting up my own new iPhone. As the photos from my cloud synced to the new device, I scrolled through them. I saw pictures of me and Qley, smiling and happy. For a moment, I felt a pang of sadness for the woman I thought I knew, for the love I thought we had. Then I selected all of them, every single one, and I pressed delete. I am starting over, with a library of my own making. And for the first time in a long time, that feels like enough.